Hey guys, it's Carl. So obviously here we've got the brand new iPhone 14 in a new colorway of yellow. Same phone, same design, all that's changing is the color. And we have the two different models. So we have the iPhone 14 and 14 Plus. And unfortunately, we didn't get a 14 Pro colorway update. So if we actually look at the 13 lineup from last year, we had the 13 Pro come, and of course this new green, I think this is actually called Alpine Green, and the standard 13 also came in a green as well. For whatever reason, Apple's the only one that knows. Maybe Tim Cook is on that little email thread of what colors to come out with. We just have the standard model. So like I said, 14 Plus and the standard 14 in yellow. And in my initial unboxing, I took it out. I was honestly really waiting for an orange iPhone. I was kind of keeping my breath held. Some of the rumor mills, some of the leaks have been kind of showing off an orange iPhone, but I'm calling it here right now. iPhone 15 will come in orange. I'm just throwing that out into the universe. But if you are a yellow fan, this is the time to pick one up because I think we've had a yellow iPhone before, but just like the typical iPhone lineup. So if we take a look, we've got every single colorway right off to the side here. The color lineup is a bit more muted, a bit more on the pastel side. So I've got the standard blue one, which is probably the most popular. You can see how light the blue is. It's not like a deep striking blue. That's the same way with the yellow. It's just almost like a pastel yellow. And I won't lie to you, this lighter pastel colorway for the entire 14 line isn't my favorite. It just isn't that saturated, and I'm actually kind of happy they didn't come out with an orange one because it would almost look salmon. So that's just obviously personal preference. But if we actually take a look at some of the new cases, so obviously they shipped these new silicone cases. I'll just quickly take this out. The official colorway case of this is called Canary Yellow. And once again, very, very similar, just not as saturated. But yeah, I think it's a dope colorway if you are into that yellow game. The first thing that I would honestly do besides the case is to kind of throw a screen protector on any new iPhone that you pick up, just because we have that new glass. Apple calls it ceramic shield. That just makes the glass a bit softer, so better for actually shattering your phone. You won't break it as much, but it does make the glass a lot more prone to scratches. So just grab this one from DBRAND, and obviously you can grab a skin for an extra 10 to 15 bucks as well if you don't like the yellow on the back. That's up to you. So that's pretty much my initial unboxing and hands-on. And like I said, the 14 line hasn't changed at all. Something really cool though, I threw up on social when I was actually taking a look at this yellow iPad. I was just looking for stuff to kind of compare it to, just for some aesthetics. This yellow iPad has the same rails or the same aluminum as the side. So if you were wondering, the side of the iPhone, just because it has aluminum around the sides, is the same yellow found on the back of the iPad. So just as a little color reference, if you are wondering, that is how they match up. And once again, I wouldn't say that this is true yellow. To me, depending on the light, it's almost a bit greenish. Once again, not my favorite color. Sadly reminds me of when I've drank too much and have puked up some nasty stuff the night after, but of course, I'll let you guys be the judge, but I'll kind of give you my thoughts. Is the iPhone 14 still kind of worth it? So we're at that halfway point. So like I said, this has been out now for 6 months. You can either grab one now or wait an additional 6 for the 15 to drop. And as a little reference, I am using my 14 Pro Max as my daily driver. I think most people can just stick to the regular 14. The big reasons to get the Pro models, of course, are that extra camera, that portrait lens camera, higher megapixel count, so 48 megapixels versus the 12 on the standard. You've obviously got Pro Motion, which is just a higher refresh rate for the screen, which makes it seem a bit faster. Dynamic Island, which you don't really need. You can kind of see the difference between Dynamic Island and the typical notch. It's just a glorified notch. Yes, you can see some notifications. It's not gonna make or break your experience. Save the extra money if you don't need that extra camera sensor, and especially if you need the extra battery life of a large device, just go with the 14 Plus. I am still missing out on the 14 mini. I know that Apple discontinued it. I know it had a bit of a cult following. The only two size options are the standard size and the Plus model. So if you are a heavy user, if you want the battery life, the 14 Plus actually has the best battery life across the board. And that big battery difference, you can probably see it on the displays, or I guess once this times out, because the Pro models have the always on display, which I've actually turned off. And that was one of the biggest battery drains on my 14 Pro Max. I was barely getting a day's usage, and I actually thought it was a downgrade. When I turned it off, it got a lot better, but that's a big reason why the standard 14 Plus has the best battery, because it doesn't have that always on display option. So yeah, I know that we're in that really weird spot around 6 months out for a new refresh cycle, but I always recommend get the device now so you can actually use it for that time. Imagine all the content, all the new stuff that you can create, all the productivity that you can do with a new phone. It's tough if you have a device that's 3, 4, 5 years old that's bogging down on you. Get the phone now, and if need be, you can sell it a month out to maximize your profit on a resale. And especially if we do get that orange iPhone 15. I will be posting way earlier than it drops. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on the rumor mills. That was a bit of a voice crack. That's how excited I am. But if I were to choose a color still, I would probably be safe and go for something like the white. The blue is still one of my favorites. I think it's a nicer blue, but if you are a yellow fan, paging at Canoopsy out here, I know that you've been waiting for a yellow iPhone forever. So if you are in Team Yellow camp, you can grab one now. But anyways, I've kind of rambled on about a new iPhone color for too long now. So that has been the new yellow iPhone. I still wish we got a new, even if it was a yellow 14 Pro Max or 14 Pro, just to take a look at, but new color options. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'll catch the rest of you in one of my next vids. Peace.